Welcome back to Eyewitness News at 11 a.m. We're joined once again by Special Agent in charge of the LA Field Office of the DEA is Bill Bodner. And Bill, we want to talk quickly about a major arrest or seizure that you guys made back on February 6th. A lot of drugs coming into the LA area.
So one thing that we're continuing to do, Philip, is target counterfeit prescription drugs that are coming across the border from Mexico. On February 6th, we had information. Remember, we have a network of informants that work the street, that provide information to us. We have undercover operatives out there. We do wiretaps. We developed information that an exchange was going to take place in Long Beach. We had our officers and special agents there, and when the exchange took place, we swooped in. We made arrests and we seized 5,000 counterfeit oxycodone pills. Now, what these pills are is, I've heard people say, oh, they're laced with fentanyl, but that's not really accurate. The active ingredient is fentanyl. There's no oxycodone in them. They're made in filthy clandestine labs in Mexico, and the danger to our people is the dosing is very inconsistent. It only takes 2.5 milligrams of fentanyl to kill you, and you have no idea how much you're getting when you buy these pills in the street.
Well, we had some images of some of the seizure. There's a lot of what you guys were able to get, but one of the things that jumped off as I was reading about the arrest was drug cartels and who it is and where they are. People think drug cartel, they think other country. They are here, and they are here operating a billion-dollar business. This isn't like across the border anymore.
No, they're here, Philip, and the one thing I try to impress upon people, and it's probably been my biggest challenge, is drug trafficking is not a victimless crime. People hear about the violence in Mexico, and like you said, they think that's somewhere else, that's not here. Look what it's done to our streets of LA. Fentanyl and methamphetamine have been the two driving forces behind a lot of the homelessness and a lot of the drug addiction that we see here on the streets of LA. Cartel de Jalisco Nueva Generación, CJNG, that's the cartel now in Mexico that's posing the greatest problem to our people here in LA and probably supplying a third of the drugs to the whole United States.
And they're here. They're working here. It's not like there's out in the middle of nowhere. They're in Riverside, Orange County, LA, Long Beach. They're here.
They are here in our communities. They're exploiting us. They're victimizing us. And we really have to build public awareness that it is going on here, and we need to unite and stop it.
And you mentioned fentanyl, and so many people have likely heard of fentanyl. It seems like the word of the day, fentanyl, fentanyl, fentanyl. But what is it? You mentioned how dangerous it is. Do people, our viewers, realize how little it can take to kill you?
I don't think people do. I mean, if you looked at a sugar packet that you put in your coffee in the morning, that's probably, let's say, 4 grams of sugar. Try to sit down, dump that sugar package out, and divide it into 2,000 doses. Keep in mind that if you make a mistake and one dose is 10% bigger than another one, you've just killed someone. That's how difficult it is to get the dose, and I want to say proper dosing. There is no proper dosing, but that's how difficult it is to get consistent dosing to where you're not killing people with the drug. These drugs are made in Mexico. They're in filthy clandestine labs. You should not be trusting these people that the dosing is accurate and that it's not going to kill you, because it will.
And we're running out of time, but you mentioned something that's so troubling to me because we are cracking down on the opioid crisis. It's an epidemic in this country, prescription drug abuse. People can't get it from their doctors anymore, so they're turning to the street. They're turning maybe to a place where they're not familiar.
Yes, but that's exactly what happens. We've cracked down on doctors and on pharmacies. They're behaving more ethically now. They understand what the issues are. They understand what addiction looks like when a patient comes in. Unfortunately, when they turn these patients away, they turn to the street. And I am begging people, get help, seek out treatment, because if you don't get it with these powerful synthetic drugs, you're going to end up dying.
Okay, so much more to talk about this. Maybe we'll have you back.
Thanks.
Hopefully.